That's not his money. That is public money. Honorable Speaker, that is public money. Number two, Honorable Speaker, as a taxpayer in this country, there are very few things that make me happy, because we have serious problems with the way that this government utilizes our property. Honorable Speaker, the only time when you drive around this country and you see a road sign that says road maintenance levy, your taxes have been used to improve this road, that's the only time that I feel proud to be a taxpayer in this country. But all these other times, when you talk about people putting their photos everywhere, I have seen governors, whenever there is a tax waiver, his photo is bigger than the message that is in the newspaper. I have seen governors buying billboards. The face occupies 3/4 of the billboard. The message is so small, the rest of the billboard is his face. Honorable Speaker, even this week, I have seen a governor who is my friend, and I have to say this because I want him to succeed. He has bought time on Citizen TV, prime time. I was watching the news at night, and I see a governor advertising a project that is funded by the county government, and he's saying that this project has been funded by so and so. I was very shocked. Where do you get the money, Honorable Speaker? I don't want to be informed.
Sifuna, do you want to be informed?
I don't want to be informed. I'm in the middle of teaching. I'm in the middle of a lecture. Honorable Speaker, so I was very shocked. You all have TVs, you can pay subscription, you will see the governor. So, Honorable Speaker, I ask that you protect me. When I began this submission, so Honorable Speaker, I asked that you protect me because I knew this would happen. Honorable Speaker, we have seen images of governors.
What is your point of order, Senator Chelge? Under which standing order are you raising the point?
Mr. Speaker, I stand under standing order 101 on contents of speech. When Senator Sifuna says he's teaching us, is it part of the rules of debate, Mr. Speaker? Are there children that he's teaching here? All of us are distinguished senators, and that governor, by the way, Mr. Speaker, is Governor George Natembeya. That is why he's fearing to say.
Maybe he's teaching citizens of Kenya.
In fact, Honorable Speaker, if you look upstairs, you will see there are children there. Yeah, so allow me to teach. And when I'm standing here, I am not just speaking to this House, Honorable Speaker, I'm speaking to the country. So, Honorable Speaker, I have seen images of governors on something as mundane as milk packets for school milk, even on meals, Honorable Speaker. So that you want to tell us that this is Sifuna is doing. I have seen my colleagues in the National Assembly, Honorable Speaker, every single national government CDF-funded project, they have to find a way to put their names on it. Even after the courts ruled that this thing is unconstitutional, they changed now. They say, oh, this is financial year 2022-2023, patron. Then they write Edwin Sifuna, patron. Honorable Speaker, this Mr. Musundi has identified a proper problem in this country. And we want to be able to say that every single coin that is utilized by national and county governments is actually our money. That's our property. Honorable Speaker, I've seen these patrons disbursing bursary checks, and they want to greet the parent and look them in the eye and ask them, who is the person who gave you this check? Then they say it is Sifuna. Then they say, remember me in 2027. Mr. Speaker, you would think that that money is their money. And one of the things I don't understand, these members of the National Assembly make the dishing out of checks to appear like something that is so appointed. Like a clerical job, who cannot dish out, if your office wrote checks, how difficult is it to distribute checks? It's a physical transaction. So they come and make noise here and tell us all about how children will not go to school. Honorable Speaker, and that check has 2,500 shillings on it. There are people here who are educating children and they don't even announce it. Honorable Speaker, they should come to our offices so that we tell them, all those children that I have paid school fees for, even if you see a single one of them with a picture of Sifuna, you should ask me. They go there and they say, this is the so-and-so who did it for me. But you don't see me presenting checks here in Nairobi saying, oh, Sifuna is issuing bursaries today. That is not your money. Can you show us photos of you issuing your own money so that you leave this public money aside, Honorable Speaker? Then, Honorable Speaker, the majority leader even wanted us to extend this thing to Plex. There was a young man who was going around this country called Morara, auditing national projects. The country is led by plaques written, oh, this project was commissioned by William Ruto on this particular day, on this particular day. Those are the other plaques that we need to go for, because that is not Ruto's money. He should also remove his name on those plaques. Honorable Speaker, it is the truth. The majority leader told us we need to extend it to plaques. I can show you those plaques.
Senator Sifuna, there is a point of order again from Senator Chalge.
Mr. Speaker, I rise again understanding 101 on contents of speech, Mr. Speaker. This obsession by Senator Sifuna or President William Ruto must stop. If he wants to discuss the president, he should bring a substantive motion. Then we can handle at that point. He should stop this obsession, Mr. Speaker. Please. Protect, because the president is not here to defend himself. Because when you are making such assertion against anyone, they have a right to be here to defend themselves. But since he's not here, he should just stop dragging. You know, majority leader can defend himself because he's here, Mr. Speaker. Can the honorable senator withdraw and apologize or substantiate, Mr. Speaker? Because when he says there are plaques that are littered with the name of President William Ruto in the country, that is not a statement of fact and standing order 105.
Senator Chalage, just a minute ago, you are requesting to be given the names of the governors. Correct. You have the plaques. No. Also, you mentioned the name of a certain governor.
Correct. Sit down,
Mr. Speaker, can I finish?
Speaker,
can I finish? Mr. Speaker, can I finish?
Too long.
Can I finish?
Listen, Senator Chalage, since too long cannot make a right. Also, Senator Sifuna, there was a communication from the chair about that standing order to avoid mentioning names of state officers who are not in this house. Maybe unless you bring a substantive motion.
Honorable Speaker,
can I finish?
Sit down, Bwana. Sit
down.
You
are not the speaker. All
the senators.
You are not the speaker. Mr. Speaker, why is Senator Sifuna ordering me? You are the speaker.
Resume the seat.
Resume your seat, Senator Sifuna. Let me finish what I was saying. I'm saying as much as possible, you know, those plaques, those billboards and everything, whatever it is, avoid mentioning names of whatever billboard you saw, so that now we can make progress, Senator Chalge.
Honorable Speaker, can I proceed, please?
Yes, but
Honorable Speaker, we are not discussing personalities. We are discussing our money. The Senator for Narok, Honorable Speaker, came from a time when he was hosting the president in his county. So he came back and told us, oh, we have been given an airport in Narok. The contractors are there day and night. So one time I had been given a lift by a friend of mine. We were coming from somewhere in Western. I said, I want to see this airstrip in Narok that has a contractor day and night. So I asked the pilot to fly over that space. Honorable Speaker, there is a plaque sitting there. There are no contractors there. That young man called Morara has gone around the whole country, has shown us. Even when you go to the so-called stadium in Wote, if you go to Kamarin Stadium, you will find those plaques there. Honorable Speaker, we cannot have these gatekeepers of the executive in the legislature. You do your job, let him do his job. So, Honorable Speaker, when he was going, Honorable Speaker, can you protect me from this heckler?
Senator Chegre, order, kindly.
No. Honorable Speaker, do you know?
Of order are not making sense now.
Honorable Speaker, there is.
Senator Chalage, can you allow?
You know, when you are used to using matatus, have you ever been in a chopper? You can see.
No.
Honorable Speaker, protect me from this.
Senator Chalage. Senator Chalage, I'm giving you the first warning this afternoon. I'm giving you the first warning. No point of order.
Honorable Speaker, please.
Let Senator Sifuna be in silence.
Thank you.
To conclude his...
Honorable Speaker, so the point that I was making, Honorable Speaker, is that those plaques with names of either projects that have been started or concluded should bear the same sign that I told you about, the Road Maintenance Levy Fund. It should say, your taxes have built this stadium in Wote. Your taxes have built this stadium in Kamarin, which doesn't exist, by the way. Honorable Speaker, let me conclude by commenting on something he said. And I was very quiet when he spoke, so I hope he will be quiet too. Honorable Speaker, as a responsible government, you cannot tell us to wait for you to face you in 2027, and you are killing us today. Albert Ojwang is in the ground. He will not be able to meet William Ruto in 2027. So if we stopped, all of us, if all of us agreed, all of us should agree.
Senator
All of us
Sifuna,
should agree.
Senator
Honorable
Sifuna,
Speaker, please don't stop me.
You are now contravening standing on the
Now
121.
the Speaker himself is interrupting me.
Standing on the 121. I gave a ruling, I gave you guidance. I gave you guidance. You know you cannot do elections in the Senate. We don't do elections in the Senate. So avoid mentioning names of state officers. I warned you. I cautioned you. That is the first caution again, understanding on the 121.
Very well, Honorable
And
Speaker.
you know the consequences.
Very well, Honorable Speaker. Very well, Honorable Speaker. What I'm saying is this. All of us must agree that if decisions are being made democratically at an election, can we guarantee that all of us get to that election? Because you can't tell me to wait for you at the ballot and then you make sure I don't get there. Is Albert Ojwang supposed to vote from the grave? There's no such polling station. So when you talk about a state officer standing up and saying you can shoot people, as if people don't die from gunshot wounds. Honorable Speaker, we saw Rex Masai, the young man who was killed during the protest, was shot in the leg. So how can you tell people to shoot people in the leg as if those injuries are sustainable injuries? So, Honorable Speaker, we want to make it very clear that as a country, we have totally lost our way. And we will not have a conversation with someone telling us to wait for 2027 when he's not giving us a chance to get to 2027. He has become an existential threat for this country, and he must go as soon as possible. I thank you.
Senator Wakiri Hilary.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, you will protect me from Senator Cherargei, particularly when he makes reference to the local dialect that he requests of me to speak to the House on. First, Mr. Speaker, I want to laud this gentleman called Laban Omusundi. He has not only been filing public interest petitions in this House on matters like what we are debating today, but also on matters that covers on the laws that we are legislating in this particular House. Mr. Speaker, in fact, as of today, we have, as JLAC, a report that we were meant to table on another petition that he has filed regarding the introduction of a framework on the recall of members of county assembly, and in that particular petition is saying that the law does not provide for it. So as a Kenyan, a patriotic Kenyan for that matter, I want to appreciate him because we've dealt with not one, not two, but more than 3 petitions as JLAC by this same gentleman. I needed to appreciate him so that as he continues to do that most of us do not or cannot do, he knows he's doing it because he's a patriotic Kenyan and he's doing the act that is expected of us, not only to keep the legislature in toss in terms of enactment of laws, but also in terms of public interest petitions that covers areas including where we are saying we do not want to continue seeing governors, members of parliament, members of county assemblies emboldening their names on resources of public which have been utilized to develop certain infrastructure in our various places. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate the committee that dealt with this issue, and in particular the recommendation and the timeline they gave requiring the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to do certain actions within 30 days. Mr. Speaker, it is on public notoriety that almost all elected governors, members of parliament, and members of county assembly, in the simplest of the projects, including public toilets and some pit latrines, they publish their names saying that this particular project was done by so-and-so on this particular date without necessarily making reference to the fact that those are public resources. And Mr. Speaker, such publications in itself is abuse of office. In fact, it goes beyond unethical conduct, but it borders on abuse of office and is sufficient ground for someone to be brought to book and also be charged for abuse of office. And so to have a Kenyan like Laban Musundi to prick our conscience and ask of us to make certain recommendations and also to think through the actions that we do is something that not most of us would do. And for the committee to also invite this particular house to have a conversation around this and to invite the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to act is to remind us that these violations of the law, these violations of the guidelines that we do have are not only costly to the public, but they are potentially going to encourage unnecessary competition because one would, in the process of having seen someone politically made famous by the use of public resources, they would do it. My colleagues have made reference here of certain motor vehicles where they have indicated or even have a portrait of the person who is seen as the patron, whether it's a member of parliament who's funded or rather who has facilitated the acquisition of such a school bus or an institution bus using CDF or public resources, and their portrait is appearing at the rear mirror or the rear window of the car. In itself, one would be forced to equally do the same. And I want to associate myself with the recommendation that even if you really would want to have your name there, then use your own resources, use your own money in your individual foundations or private life, use the resources that belongs to you and publish your name there. Let public resources be used for public resources, because if you were to look at the amount of these portraits of the billboards that are payable for one to display, that amount is sufficient to be utilized to do projects which would benefit the public. I therefore appreciate the work and the recommendation of the committee, and as Senator Cherargei said, we have indeed invited the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to give us an itemized status of the cases or reports which various committees of this House have made recommendations for their action. And in due course, we shall be able to table that particular report, having summoned the commission before the committee. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Very well, Senator Zena, the Maletian. Not present, Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also stand in support of the report by the Standing Committee on Devolution on this petition on by Laban. Mr. Speaker, the issues that we as a Senate are called upon to deal with in the counties are major issues, and this is one of those issues. Mr. Speaker, all of us are born witness to situations where governors in particular counties want to behave as though their names are synonymous with their counties. That every little thing that they do, they want to do billboards with their names and their photos, indicating that they are the people and the leaders that are responsible for the projects that they are talking about. The Speaker, the thing that these people don't understand is that they are in office for, if they are lucky, 5 years. And if they get luckier, they may be 10 years, and that's it. They can never be in office for more than 10 years. As Speaker, some of us are insulted by images of leaders, governors, that the voters kicked out of office, but their images are still staring at us, the Speaker, and proclaiming ownership of projects in counties. Mr. Speaker, this petition by Laban and the recommendations by the Committee on Devolution is one instance where, as a Senate, we should actually move with speed, Mr. Speaker, and ensure that those billboards and those signages, whatever they are brought down, Mr. Speaker. Because there is one thing, Mr. Speaker, to say that they should not be erected going forward. It's a different story, Mr. Speaker, to have to endure the images of those governors and their names on those billboards, looking down on us every time we use it, whether it's a road or a project that was initiated and completed during their time. So, Mr. Speaker, I fully support the recommendations of the committee and thank Laban for bringing that petition to the Senate. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, when I came in, I found my colleagues in serious conflict and a war of words over remarks that were being made by the senator for Nairobi. Mr. Speaker, the one thing that we must agree, all of us, is that this country belongs to all of us. Every one of us. Those in authority and those under authority, Mr. Speaker, this country belongs to all of us. There is one thing, Mr. Speaker, that is getting very rare among us, and it gets me very worried. Mr. Speaker, the tolerance levels in this country are really going very low. And it's a matter of concern for me as a leader, as a citizen of this country. Mr. Speaker, people will hold different views on the same matter. It doesn't mean that those people must be enemies just on account of different views that they hold. Mr. Speaker, authority is given to some offices, including our own office, Mr. Speaker, as senators. We have the power to summon governors and state officers and grill them on issues of public concern. Mr. Speaker, the executive has been given powers by the Constitution to ensure the safety of our property and the safety of our